Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show, and this time we're going to be showing how to fillet and smoke a mackerel. Yep, it's with Wayne Comber down here at the ECA. They've got their annual barbecue, and Wayne is going to run us through exactly the proper way to do it, because all men like to have barbecues. Unfortunately for us, we don't do it very well. Wayne, hopefully, does it properly.
Okay then, right, well this is the ECA's barbecue, fisherman's barbecue I should say. We had a boat out yesterday because I was on it looking for mackerel. It's been painful, I can use no other expression. They have been really hard to come by. We're July the 12th now, and despite a bit of colour in the water, it's not that. There is a distinct lack of fish there. Now this morning we've had another maybe half a dozen boats out, and between those boats we've managed to get 40 mackerel. Now when you think about that, that's pitiful. So no one's telling me there's loads of mackerel out there. I'm not having it. We did manage to get 40, as I say, so there we go, beautiful mackerel, been on ice, not gutted, which is the way I prefer them to fillet. Nice and firm then, and very much easier to fillet. Nice sharp knife. This isn't a very expensive knife, and the good thing about this sharpener is it takes a little bit off every time. So just run the blade through it like so, a couple of times. Lovely. Wipe any excess. Okay. Now this is how I fillet them. Obviously everyone's got their own way. I find this is the easiest way. Straight in, turn it at the backbone, straight along. Now I think most people do it like this. There you have a fillet. Now what I like to do, let's get rid of that bit there. There's your belly cavity, and there's bones that run along there. Now I like to get the knife and just shallow cut and take those bones straight out. Now people say you lose a bit of meat. I'm not being funny. A little tiny thin bit of belly strip like that. Do you know what? For the hassle and no bones, I'd rather take that bit out. None of it goes to waste. That all goes in the rubby bin. And then you've got bones along the back here. You can feel them when you run your finger along. Feel them sticking up. Now you can pull them all out if you wish. I don't fancy doing that. So I'll get a blade. Start at the fat end, the head end, and you just run right next to the bones like so. You don't cut through the skin, you just cut to the skin, if you know what I mean. Same the other side, just a little V either side of those bones. And there's the beauty of this, you just grab that bit of fillet there and you peel that straight out like so. And what you're left with is boneless fillet. And this is what we're going to smoke in a minute. Okay, now we're going to smoke a few mackerel. Now, what you can do is you can brine fillets, which basically is you can put them in a solution, brine solution, usually, obviously salt. Other bits and pieces you can put in there. Leave them in there for maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. Take them out, pat them dry, and let them dry. And then on the surface of the skin, it forms what's called a pellicle, and that helps to infuse the smoke. Now, because I feel myself that's more for cold smoking. For hot smoking, what we're doing now, you don't have to do that. That's not necessary. What you do need It's good sawdust. Now you can't just go and sweep stuff off the floor at the local chippies. It could have anything in it, paint chips, who knows what. You want pure, clean sawdust. This is oak, which is one of the best. You can also use apple, cherry, and a few others. Now this is the last of my oak dust, because what I thought was sawdust turns out to be a bag of the Shark brand, which I had in the car. Wouldn't have tasted too clever smoking it with that. So luckily on the bottom of my box I had a little bit of dust. Now this is the other thing, you do not need too much dust. You put too much in, it will be too strong, too cloying. You'll be burping and tasting it 3 days later. Not good. About that amount there will smoke 24 fillets. That is plenty. Might not look a lot, but you don't need a lot. I'll keep it into the middle because that's where the burner will be. Speaking of which, this is the burner. Methylated spirits. Not my drink of choice. I prefer lager. There we go. So methylated spirits. Now what I pour in is about 2/3. There's a little bit less than 2/3 there because we haven't got as many fillets today. That will go underneath there in a minute. Now what I do next is I get our tray, which is what the fillets are going to sit on. Now you can sit the fillet straight on top of here. I suggest you don't. Get yourself a bit of foil. I'll explain why in a moment. It's not just for cleanliness, although that helps. Now I'll just turn the edges up to keep the oil within there. Okay. And your fillets then go on skin side down. Keep them a little bit apart. Just keep that centre open. Helps get the smoke all infused inside the fish. Another thing I like to do, get some nice bay leaves, fresh bay leaves off of our tree in the garden. I'll just put them inside the smoker. Just adds a little bit of extra infusion. Don't want too much. But bay and mackerel, lovely. Okay, so next stage. Burner. Underneath the centre. This bit I like to do somewhere sheltered. You don't want the wind blowing too much. Obviously you want to do it outside. You don't want to be doing this inside for sure. So somewhere, this is why we're in our workshop, because there's a nice bit of shelter from the wind at the moment. So there's the methylated spirits. Nice little burner there. Obviously, I don't tell people, I'm not going to be health and safety conscious here, but it does catch fire. Don't put your head over it unless you want to singe your eyebrows off. There we go. That's a light. The smoker goes straight over the top. The lid goes on. This smoker isn't a top quality one. It was quite cheap. I think it was 25 quid a few years back. As a consequence, it's only thin stainless. What it tends to do when it gets hot is it expands and pops a lot. That's why I put something heavy on the lid. Just stops it popping. Now, what happens when it pops sometimes is if the centre pops up, it will send all that dust up onto the fillets. Another reason why I've got the tin foil on there, because if it does tend to want to spring up with the heat, you just heard it pop then, it saves the fillets getting covered in sawdust, that's all. So that will burn now. You'll see the smoke coming off in a second or so, but that will burn for about 12 minutes, which is long enough to both cook and smoke those fillets. We then give it another maybe 15 minutes for the fillets to cool down, and then we'll make our pate. Okay, there's your fillets. They've had about 12 minutes, which is enough time for that methylated spirits to burn out. They've now cooled down. The idea of cooling them is when they're skin side down on this foil, you should be able to literally flake the fish straight off of the skin. There you go. Beautiful. And there's the skin still left on the foil. I'm all for making things easy, and there's no easier way of doing it. What we've got in here It's cream cheese, lemon juice and pepper. Salt and pepper, I should say. You obviously season to taste. Annoys me when I watch MasterChef and that, like they say, oh, it's not seasoned enough. That's why salt and pepper's on the table. Some people like a lot of salt and pepper, some people like none. Season it to taste. So I like to put plenty of pepper in, plenty of lemon juice in, because it cuts through that oily mackerel. Cream cheese. What I've done is I've mixed one lot of smokers fillets in. This is a second lot. I find about 6 tubs of cream cheese and about 24 fillets of smoked mackerel. A lemon and a half, squeezed the juice, squeezed in, and salt and pepper to taste. Simple as that. Another reason I don't like to break this fish up too much because it makes it a little tiny bit pithy. I like some nice big bits within it, but it's only a personal preference anyway. But it tends to go down very well. Once you've seasoned it to your liking, lemon juice, what you got to do is gently fold all the flesh, all the mackerel flesh in with the cream cheese, like so. Make sure it's all well mixed. And once you've mixed it up, obviously you want a little lovely stuff. That really is so nice. Better than anything you buy. And again, in the best traditions of Keith Floyd, bless him, was his firsty work, you know. Here we've got this foil, by the way. Another reason again to use the foil. All the skins, look, stuck on it. What you do, fold it up with all that oil and mess in there. Very neat, get rid of that. You will have to wipe your smoker down afterwards, just with a wet rag. That's all you need to do, and they'll be ready for next time. Easy peasy.